Hello there, friends. It's Jimmy Maverick, and it is August 3rd. We are going to be doing a mock draft today, and I gotta say, this has not been a good week for running backs. My gosh, what's going on here? You got Zeke Elliott and Melvin Gordon threatening to hold out. You've got issues related to Saquon Barkley. How good is he going to be in his sophomore campaign on a bad team? How much can his talent overcome the negatives associated with the New York Giants right now? You've also got issues with offensive lines, and there's just problems down the board as far as when you look at those top 10 running backs in the league. You got Gurley with knee issues. It's just a never-ending parade of bad news with these guys, and they are risky. That's part of the nature of fantasy football. But what if we just decide to go zero RB strategy? All right. So this is the strategy. It became very big a couple of years ago when running backs just had a horrible year. I think it was 2015, 2014, right in that range. And so everybody said, okay, that's it. Forget it. We're not going to be drafting any running backs early. We're going to go quality on the other players first. So that's what we're going to do here, right? We're going to go ahead. We're going to take 3 wide receivers, 1 elite quarterback and 1 elite tight end in the first 5 rounds, and then we'll take some running backs. Let's see what kind of team we can build with that, all right? So I am going to do a mock draft today on Yahoo. We are going to be picking in the 8th position in a 12-team league. And so let's see what kind of team we can build. And we're going to use my app, My Perfect Fantasy Draft, to help us find players. I encourage you to go to my website, fantasyfootballmaverick.com. You can access the app through there. This is the app, My Perfect Fantasy Draft. You start it this way. If you haven't signed up yet, if you don't have a subscription, get the app right here. And this weekend, because this is the first week of preseasons, right? We had the Hall of Fame game on Thursday. So I'm very excited about that. If you use coupon code preseason, just one word, preseason, you'll get $3 off my app. So it's only $6.95 for a 1-year subscription to the app. You can use it on as many teams as you wish. I really encourage you to go there, check it out. This deal ends on Sunday, though. So you got to hurry. You got to sign up quickly if you want to get that at this good price. So when you log into My Perfect Fantasy Draft, it's going to ask you 3 questions. How does your league score points? This is Yahoo, so it's half-point PPR. Do you want to engage Jimmy's recommended player filters? I'm going to say no in this case. And then do you want to enter draft mode? And yes, we're going to do that. So we're going to do 12 team, picking 8. And let's go ahead and enter draft mode. So you see the player list right here. You got the position filters here. So if you want to look at quarterbacks or running backs, you use those filters. This is every round of our draft. We're going to click on 1. And then down below, we got recommendations. And below the recommendations, I just minimized it, by the way, so we just see the names. And then down below, we got the player list below there. So let's see how we're doing. It just started. So what the app is recommending with our first pick is Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, or Juju Smith-Schuster. That's an interesting combination because all those guys are actually second-round guys. Now, if we do the wide receiver filter, you can see that Davante Adams and DeAndre Hopkins are both long shots for us at the 8th position. One of them might fall to us. They certainly would be the best choice, but I don't really have any problems with taking Tyreek first because of his value. If you look over here, you got the value ranks, and Tyreek Hill's top 10 value. Contract year, he's had lots of issues, lots of problems, but certainly there's no player with more big play upside than Tyreek Hill and plays on an elite offense. Now, you can see here that DeAndre Hopkins is still on the board. Davante Adams is still on the board. I think one of them might very well make it to us. That would be impressive. Also, you've got, look at this. Zeke is still on the board. Of course, he's starting to fall because of the whole issue with his holdout. David Johnson just got taken later than usual. No, actually, I guess 6 is about where he usually goes. But look at that. Davante Adams made it to us. Now, he was a long shot. That just means he's got less than a 50-50 shot of making it to us. But I love taking Davante Adams first. So let's go ahead and we'll grab him. And now we'll go on to the second round. And for the second round, you can see that the app is recommending, Tyreek Hill, once again, at the very top of the list. Then you got Mike Evans and Joe Mixon. So Tyreek Hill being a top 10 talent that we can get at pick number 17, That is value. That's how you win your draft, man. You got to make the value picks. And we certainly have a good chance to get him because Tyreek Hill typically goes at pick number 18. So I think we have got a good chance to get him. But I'm going to get all these guys on my queue. Well, actually, not Joe Mixon, because remember, we're not going to take any running backs till pick 6, right? So we'll get Hill and Evans on my queue. And it's almost back to us already, actually. So let's see here. Let's just sort it for wide receivers. So there's Hill, there's Evans. There's Evans. And look, Juju is still on the board too. We'll see if he actually makes it back to us. He will probably be gone. You can see Juju Smith-Schuster right here with the gun next to him. That just means long shot. That's all it means. And then also on this list, if you look, you see the little hands here. These are the reaches. These are the guys that are available that will be long shots on the next round, right? So it's just to identify that if you want to take a guy early, you should. Okay, so Juju Smith-Schuster did get taken. He got taken right before our pick. Tyreek Hill is still on the board. Man, starting out with Devontae Adams and Tyreek Hill, that's a nice combination to start with. Those are two quality wide receivers. Now for the third round, let's take a look and see what it's recommending. So third round, we got Patrick Mahomes. So we could go for the number one quarterback in the NFL, and I think he'll be the number one quarterback again this year. I don't think he's going to do 50 touchdowns again. Did you know that's only been done 3 times in NFL history? So do not expect a repeat of 50 touchdowns, but I think he's still good for 45. We got Robert Woods. We got Stephon Diggs. What about tight ends? Are any tight ends going to make it to us at 30? Well, none of the super elite ones, but I think we'll be able to grab. Look, we can grab Ingram or O.J. Howard or Hunter Henry. So that might be our option at pick number 5. But for pick 3, maybe we should take Mahomes. Let's just go with the number one quarterback. He will be at the top of the projection list every single week of this NFL season. We will. He gives us a positional advantage there. So why not take the win? So Mahomes, I'll also queue up Woods and Diggs because they're good choices. But you know how it is. So, did someone already take Mahomes? You're kidding me. Someone already took Patrick Mahomes. That's crazy early. When did he get taken? Anyway, let's look at the show drafted on the quarterbacks. Patrick Mahomes got taken 5th. Oh, are you kidding? That's crazy. I hate when people do that sort of stuff. That doesn't really happen in real life. But okay, so let's go and we'll get Woods and Diggs. Go Woods. And we'll go Diggs. And let's see here. I'm also going to look. There's Kittle. There's Ertz. They're not going to make it to us. That's too far till our next pick. There's T.Y. Hilton. Boy, I wouldn't mind having him. So there are some other good options. Now, as far as value goes, when we're looking at value here, you can see here that Woods offers value rank of 41. Stephon Diggs value rank of 38. So I consider them fair value, basically, maybe a little bit overvalued for where we're at. But of course, if any of these guys fall to us, like a Keenan Allen or Amari Cooper, those guys would be great as our number 3s. We'll have to see what happens here, though. So is it almost back to our pick here? I'm just going to pause till we're within 3, and we'll see where we're at. All right, it's almost back to us, and check it out. Kittle and Ertz are still on the board, and there's only 2 picks to get to us. So we might have a good chance to grab ourselves one of the elite tight ends, one of the top 3 for this season, right? And I would be happy with either, to tell you the truth. I think they're both great options in the 3rd round if you're picking early enough in the 3rd round, because they're usually going pretty early. So to get them late, look at that. They're both still on the board. Now, if I had a choice, if we jump back to the 2nd round and we look just at the tight ends, Kittle offers value rank 37, Ertz value rank of 40. So Kittle offers just a little bit more upside for points, and he is higher ranked on my app. So definitely Kittle would be my choice. And of course, Jonathan's taking his full 30 seconds. There we go. Look, they both made it to us. That's amazing. That is super long shot. They're usually gone. Kittle's gone by pick 23. Ertz is gone by pick 25. So to get them at pick 31 or 32 here, that's pretty amazing. So we'll take Kittle with our 3rd pick. Very nice pick. And so now let's go to the 4th round here, and you can see that it's recommending Brandon Cooks, who actually I love that. Brandon Cooks, a wide receiver. Again, running back we're not going to take. Running back we're not going to take. Let's just look at how about quarterbacks? What quarterbacks are going this round? So we got Rodgers, Deshaun Watson, Andrew Luck. These guys are all good options. I wish Andrew Luck wasn't injured right now because he's suffering with some injury, some calf bruise, which just like isn't healing. It's a bad situation, but you could always go quality. You want to talk about a quality QB1 every single year he plays. Aaron Rodgers, man, he's amazing. And certainly gives us a positional advantage, a top 3 player. So Rodgers, I think, is a good choice. Cooks is a good choice. And if we look at the wide receivers, Brandon Cooks offers value 36. We're at pick 41, so he's undervalued. Robert Woods, Chris Godwin, those guys are both long shots. They're not offering nearly as good a value, though. Really, no one outside of Cooks is. That's a pretty steep drop from Cooks to the next best person. So let's put up Cooks and Rodgers here. Oh, it's almost back to us. Look at that. Cooks. Let's also put up Rodgers. All right, let's see. And so they're both up here now. It's going to be a long gap to our next pick. And if we pass on a quarterback here, the next best quarterback, well, in the 5th round is going to be someone like Mayfield, who's not a bad option. I mean, I would not mind having Baker Mayfield available. And Brandon Cooks offers such tremendous value. I think we got to take him as our 3rd. Adams, Hill, and Cooks as our wide receivers. That's pretty darn good. And so we'll go for now the best available quarterback in the 5th round, probably going to be Baker. You can see that it's recommending Tyler Boyd, DJ Moore, Alshon Jeffrey as wide receivers. Those are all great choices at this point in the draft. But let's go ahead and we'll just queue up. We'll just queue up some quarterbacks, and I'm going to pause till we're within 3 of our next pick, and we'll see where we're at. All right, so it's just about back to us here. You can see that right now Baker Mayfield is the top quarterback on the board. I do consider him like a top 5, top 6 play, so he's still a good choice. I think, when you're looking at this sort of strategy, going with the no running back strategy, we need to be strong in all of our other positions. Baker Mayfield certainly makes that happen. So we will go ahead and we will take him. And you can see he's down here, right? You can see him there to pick 6, but according to my app's algorithm, this is the round you need to take him. He's a reach for us here, but he's a long shot on the next round, which means less than a 50-50 shot of getting him. I don't really want to miss on getting our quality quarterback. Of course, if we missed him, we could go for someone like Cam Newton, but Newton's having issues with his shoulder right now. So let's just go a really supremely talented quarterback on a team with a lot of upside this season and a lot of talent. Baker Mayfield's the guy, right? So we got our top 5 picks set up now. Now we absolutely need to get ourselves some running backs. So who's going to be the best running back we can get in the 6th round? Well, Tevin Coleman. That's about as good as it gets. You can see here that we could go for James White. I don't recommend him, though, just because of New England and their usage of their running backs and stuff. Lamar Miller, a boring, plain vanilla type player, Tevin Coleman. So you can see here, just by doing this strategy, we're kind of scraping the barrel for what's available. Jordan Howard, Tariq Cohen. None of these guys offer great value. I think we got to go with the value, though. So I think we got to go with James White here. This is half point PPR, so his receptions are valuable. And there's no one else in that role in New England that could take it away from him. Like Sony Michel has Damian Harris behind him. They're very similar skill sets, but no one else really does what James White does. So let's queue up White. We'll queue up Miller. We'll queue up Coleman. And we'll go with that, even though that's just boring, right? So there's White and there's Miller. There he is. And Coleman. And you can see that none of these guys offer exceptionally great value. Like in a typical draft, when you're looking at these guys, I mean, James White, that's a 2, right? He's a wide receiver 2. But when you look at Lamar Miller with a value rank of 69, Tevin Coleman value rank of 81, that's like flex value. That's really where we're at. So we're going to get like basically maybe one wide receiver 2 and one running back 2 and one flex for our main 2 guys. And so that's one of the reasons why I never really do the 0 RB strategy. But you can see the rest of the team is damn fine. I mean, I'm super happy with the rest of the team right now. And let's see here. You can see that Alshon Jeffrey still might be available on our pick. He might make it down to this next round, and that's a very fine wide receiver pick in the 6th round. And typically when I'm doing most of my drafts, it is the 6th round that I take my second wide receiver. And it's usually someone like Robbie Anderson or Tyler Boyd, although Tyler Boyd's been moving up. Alshon Jeffrey is a great choice. He sometimes falls to this level. So there's great options for getting solid 2s in the 6th round for running backs. But really there's not that much for wide receivers very deep, running backs not. So White is still on the board. Let's take White. Again, not really thrilled with that pick, but he does offer the most value. So let's jump to the 7th round. And you can see here, the recommendations are Sammy Watkins, Vance McDonald, Christian Kirk, wide receivers and tight ends. We obviously don't need any of those right now. The running backs on this round, not a lot. Lamar Miller, a long shot. Rashad Penny, a long shot. Darius Geis. Now, Darius Geis actually interests me. He offers decent value. He is back. He's been fully cleared medically. Yes, he's an injury risk. Of course he is, but that's actually not a bad option. I really like that option here, and certainly a wide receiver too, if he can, just be decent this year. People say, he's got the skills, and so I'm willing to trust that, and you kind of don't really have any other choice. So we already have Miller on the queue. Let's get Geis and Penny on there, and we'll see who makes it to us. So there's Geis and Penny. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to pause till we're within 3 of our next pick, and we'll see where we're at and who we're going to get. All right, so it's almost back to us here, and Lamar Miller did get taken. He was a long shot. We knew he was a long shot. He did not make it back to us. Geis is still on the board. Penny is still on the board. So, again, when you look at the list, Geis is a reach, right? That means he's a long shot for the 8th round. So we could gamble, take Penny, and then gamble on Geis. I'm not sure I want to do that, though. I think I want to take Geis first, just because the value on him is so much better than what it's going to be for Penny. So let's go ahead and we'll take Geis. Penny will probably not make it to us. I definitely want to continue to build some depth in our running backs. You can see next up we've got Austin Eckler, we got Latavius Murray. These guys offer terrible value. Really, they're really zero value unless the starter gets hurt. These guys are not startable. Eckler obviously has some positives because he's the backup to Melvin Gordon, and that is certainly worth a pick. If Gordon's holdout goes into the regular season, which it sounds like it's going to do, Eckler's going to be the guy that's going to get most of the work. So I think it probably would not be a bad idea to take Eckler. I'll queue up Murray as well so we can take a look at that. I just don't like Murray's situation, moving to a new team, declining usage each of the past 3 seasons. That's what the little down arrow means. New contract, new team, new quarterback, new coach, new playbook, and you're playing behind Alvin freaking Kamara, who is a superstar, all right? So let's queue those guys up. But who else is being recommended in this round? Well, you can see Larry Fitzgerald, Jared Goff, the quarterback. We don't need a quarterback, obviously. Austin Hooper. All right, so it's our turn. Let's go back, and I talked too long, so let's go. Look at that. Holy cow. Rashad Penny's still on the board. That's amazing. I was not expecting that at all. He should have been gone by this point. So let's go ahead. We'll take Penny. That makes our situation very easy. I'm gonna queue up Eckler. Is he still on the board? He sure is. And I'll queue up Murray, Latavius. There he is. And we were also looking at Fitzgerald, right? We were looking at Larry Fitzgerald. Who else was on the recommended list there? Austin Hooper. Okay, so we don't need a quarterback. We don't need a tight end. We've already got our stars set. I hardly ever take a second quarterback or a second tight end. I'm very secure with the 2 that we picked. So let's go to the 9th round. It is recommending Dak Prescott, obviously a quarterback. Darrell Henderson, great option. D.D. Westbrook, great option. I really like Darrell Henderson. Another one like Eckler, very valuable should Gurley not be able to play. And they're saying he's going to have standalone value this year. He is going to be utilized in sort of a Chris Thompson type role. 3rd down, change of pace back, going to get a lot of pass attempts. So he actually his value rank is very good, very solid. So I like the idea of going with Henderson. You can also see Royce Freeman here is a reach. But let's queue up Henderson, Westbrook, and Freeman, and we'll just go with that. So Henderson and Freeman, and who was the other one? Westbrook, right? Didi. There we go. Get them all queued up. And when I'm using my app, I love to use the queue because it helps me that in a live draft situation, if one of my favorite picks from round 5 just happens to make it to round 6, I still see him. He's on my queue. He's highlighted on the board. That way I don't have to risk missing him like it was with Rashad Penny. I did not expect Rashad Penny to make it to us on the last pick. He did. That's great. I took him, right? So, look at that. Someone just got taken. Henderson just got taken. So that's not surprising. That's just a little bit earlier than when I was expecting him to go. We still need running back depth. We only have 3 running backs right now. So let's go for Freeman. Who knows? They're saying he's going to get a larger role, in the Denver offense this next year, possibly a 50-50 timeshare split with, with Philip Lindsay. I sure hope so. I took a chance on Freeman last year, and he just totally burned my team. I did not like that at all. But we're sitting here. We're past the hundreds now for our pick. I think he's a decent choice as a 4th running back on this kind of strategy. So we're at round 9 now. So we've got 3 wide receivers, 4 running backs, and our tight end and our quarterback. So that's pretty good. So let's go to the 10th round. It's recommending Phillip Rivers and Dion Lewis, another running back. That's actually a good choice. You can also see some other guys here, Miles Sanders, Ronald Jones. I mean, again, if you want to take a chance on, on the Tampa Bay offense, on Ronald Jones finally figuring something out and becoming something that even resembles a running back, I mean, that's a good choice too. Both those guys, they offer, again, terrible standalone value. I'm not sure they're startable unless someone gets injured above them. But, they're not bad choices, and it would be our 5th running back. Wide receiver options this round, not a lot of great ones. Cortland Sutton, Anthony Miller. I don't really like those guys. Anthony's dealing with an injury. You got Didi here as a long shot. Curtis Samuel is a long shot. I actually like both those guys. Let me put Samuel up here. Samuel... he's already gone. Curtis Samuel's already drafted. Fitzgerald is still on the board, though. Westbrook's still on the board. It's almost back to us. Well, no, just Fitzgerald now. Let's see if he actually makes it back to us. And I'll go ahead and I will put who were the running backs? Oh yeah, it was Lewis, right? Dion Lewis and Ronald Jones. Put those guys up so you can see them. And if Fitz makes it to us, that'd be great. I'll totally take Fitz. I think it's a great option for this season. I think he's going to bounce back very strongly. It's going to be a very offensive, pass-oriented offense, which is great. Fitz is awesome, so we'll take Fitz. Dion Lewis and Ronald Jones still on the queue. Maybe they'll make it to the next round. But for the next round, it's recommending, Lamar Jackson, Baltimore quarterback. I love that guy as a backup quarterback. Obviously, his rushing stats give him a very safe floor. I've actually been considering just taking him as my primary quarterback in some leagues, just because I think it's going to be interesting to watch the Baltimore Ravens offense this year. I'm very interested to see what happens. Greg Olsen, also recommended here, tight end. As far as running backs goes, we got Matt Breida, San Francisco, LaShawn McCoy, and there's Ronald Jones. So we might still have a good chance to get Ronald Jones. But again, value is just terrible on these guys, right? Breida got some good buzz this week about him being utilized all over the field. I think that could be interesting. He could be worth a choice. So let's put a Breida and McCoy on the queue as well, and we'll see what happens. Breida and McCoy. We'll go with that. All right. So I'm just going to pause the video till we're within 3. We'll see where we're at and who's still available. All right, we're back, and none of my selections have come off the board in the interim. Dion Lewis, Ronald Jones, Matt Breida, LaShawn McCoy, all these guys still available. I'm thinking maybe we should take a chance on Ronald Jones. I mean, he is only one of 2 guys on the Tampa Bay running backs, and maybe he'll do something, right? I mean, that's what you're going for at this point in the draft anyway, is upside guys. Let's go ahead and we'll take that. All right. And now we only have 2 spots left on our bench. This is when I like to have a little bit of fun, really speculate in these rounds here. And there's still always some nice options, right? In N'Keal Harry, that's a great wide receiver option. I very much like maybe taking a chance on him. Who else is on this round? So running backs, we've got, I'm using the running back filter right now, running back filter. So we got Ballage of Miami. That guy's getting good buzz right now in camp. Damian Harris, that's one of my favorite late round running backs to take, again, because I'm not a big fan of Sony Michel. I don't think Sony Michel is going to be durable enough to last the whole season. Damian Harris will get his chances this year. Adrian Peterson, we got Geis, right? Peterson would be his backup. That's not a bad choice. Ito Smith, Carlos Hyde, not really very interested in those guys, but shoot, Ballage or Harris would be good. Wide receivers this round, we got N'Keal Harry, Deshaun Hamilton, who's injured right now in a long shot anyway. Dante Moncrief, that guy is actually, they're saying he's going to be the number 2, but behind Juju in that wide receiver core. That's also a great choice. Don't have him valued very well right now, but certainly if he is the number 2, his value is going to go up. Marquise Goodwin, San Francisco, also a guy not great value, so I'm not really interested in that. But N'Keal Harry, yeah, I mean, let's go N'Keal and Kalen and Damian. Let's put those 3 guys up and get one of them, right? So, it's almost back to us already. So let's go. N'Keal's still there, right? Ballage is still there. And Harris still there. Awesome. Now, we are sitting here. We've got 5 running backs. We can take one more. So this would be our last running back if we go that route. Deion Lewis is still on the board. Not sure I like his upside, though. But why don't we go, since this one is the earliest rank in Keel, he definitely won't make it to the next round. We'll take N'Keal. All right, so that's going to be our 5th wide receiver. That's actually a very good number of receivers to have. I love this wide receiver core. Wow, I'm just super happy with it. Maybe one of these guys will make it to the next pick. If we look at the 13th round for running backs, who's there? Nyheim Hines, Indianapolis running back, change of pace guy there. Jerick McKinnon, if you want to take a speculative pick there. Not really a lot of options I'm really thrilled with. 14th round, though, you got guys Peyton Barber, Justice Hill. Okay, now there's a guy I want, right? Let's put Justice Hill on the queue. And that's a guy who's getting buzz as having a skill set very similar to Alvin Kamara on the Baltimore Ravens. Exciting Baltimore Ravens offense was coming this year. I'm very excited to see what that looks like. So there we go. So we'll just wait for the next round, see who of these guys get picked. I'll take my kicker and my defense. We'll come back. We'll review the team. I actually don't hate this team. This is a pretty nice team. I'm pretty happy here. And for those of you who are just skittish as heck about these running backs, man, this might be the way to go. So, all right, I will be right back as soon as we're done. All right, we're back. And so, all in all, I kind of like this team. Okay, so let's just review. So I ended up with my last 3 picks. I took Justice Hill, a high upside running back. I took Brett Maher as my kicker of Dallas, and I took New England as my defense. New England has a great early season schedule, great for fantasy. Brett Maher plays on a good offense in a dome. That's what I look for in a kicker. But here's who we ended up with, right? Baker Mayfield, quarterback. Our wide receivers, Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill, Brandon Cooks, Larry Fitzgerald, and N'Keal Harry. That's a pretty nice wide receiver core. I'm very happy with that. Running backs, again, this is the weakest part of our team by design. James White, Darius Geis, Rashad Penny, Royce Freeman, Ronald Jones, and Justice Hill. And even though it's not a great running back core, it's not horrendous, okay? I mean, again, in this sort of a strategy, you're going to be running 3 wide receivers every week anyway. You only need to fill 2 running back slots. I'm not too worried, all right? Now, tight end, Brandon Cooks, George Kittle. And so that's it. There you go. There you have it. A 0 RB strategy fully implemented here. And it's pretty good. I like it. I would be totally fine taking this team in with me to this fantasy season. I think it certainly is a contending team. So there you have it. So, if you just don't want to deal with the drama surrounding running backs this year, just don't, and go with these other positions and focus on the other positions, and you can build yourself a really nice team. So there you have it. So thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe. And if you have any comments, please let me know at the bottom. But thanks for watching, everybody. And hey, happy drafting.